about the Russian retaliation to the six ATACMS. So I just saw, and I'm sure you saw in the news as well, that Russia carried out a pretty extensive attack against Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Do you believe that this was the retaliation?
Well, the Ministry of Defense said that it was. Now, that actually seems to me rather bogus and hard to believe. Because they've done things. I mean, this was a major attack. It was a massive attack, but they've done massive attacks like this in the past. And these kind of attacks, I understand, aren't made on the spur of the moment. They wouldn't have been made in the last couple of days in response to the attack on staff. I think this was in planning. And in fact, I think I saw a report this morning that said that like assets were being moved into place during the 2 weeks leading up to this attack. So they simply decided to call it a retaliation. And I think, well, let's say one of two things may be going on here. The first possibility is that it was a clear choice not to really respond and to go up the escalation ladder. And this decision was made because of Trump's comments. He condemned the ATACMS attacks.
Right.
And previously, he did not. And especially if there was some kind of background communication, or Trump, sent a message, or his team sent a message to the Kremlin saying that, hey, we think this is stupid. Trump will say it publicly, when he gets into office, that these will end. So please keep that in mind. That may have really happened. And this is something where Trump actually can make good on his word. Like his talks about ending the war in 24 hours, this is all nonsense. He's not going to. Those negotiations are going to fail. I'm going to say that outright. They just have no chance. But this, he could keep his word on this. And one reason for this is that he will have support within the deep state. Remember that the Pentagon was obviously opposed to this, and they fought this tooth and nail for the longest time. And then finally, the crazies in the State Department, Anthony Blinken, he got his way. But Trump will have an ally within the Pentagon. And so it's something he could do. Like he really could say, when he gets in office, he doesn't have to do any legislation. You say, okay, the ATACMS and Storm Shadow, because actually apparently Storm Shadow scalps are dependent on U.S. Technology, and I think maybe direct personnel as well. He could say an end to these attacks, and that would be it. So that may be what happened. And so Russia said, okay, yeah, let's not go up this escalation ladder. We don't need to. Trump's going to be in office, in 20 days or 40 days or something like that. And then it will be all over. So let's not do anything that we, will regret. Another possibility is that this was just, okay, they decided to label this as a retaliation because it was massive and it obviously hurt Ukraine. But it's not, they haven't said that this is the whole thing. And there was a story within the Financial Times that said that a Oreshnik attack was expected during the next 2 days. So maybe they'll say this was just the first wave of a retaliation and we may get an Oreshnik. We'll just have to see.